Edge teases an unexpected WrestleMania 37 opponent. Lana puts Nia Jax through a table and reacts to her and Naomi's huge victory. And 3 title matches are confirmed for Elimination Chamber. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. Edge teases an unexpected WrestleMania 37 opponent. WWE Royal Rumble winner Edge has reminded fans that he could choose to face Walter at WrestleMania 37 for the NXT United Kingdom Championship. Posting on Instagram, Edge teased that he could challenge for Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship, Roman Reigns' Universal Championship, or Finn Balor's NXT Championship. When someone took a dig at Edge's boring segments, he joked that he has made it obvious that he will choose to challenge Walter. Edge's full Instagram picture shows 3 titles, the WWE Championship, Universal Championship, and NXT Championship dangling from his hand. All 3 titles are considered WWE World Championships, which means Edge can challenge for any one of them at WrestleMania 37. Technically, Walter's NXT United Kingdom Championship is also a WWE World Championship. However, unlike the 3 aforementioned possible opponents, Walter has not been heavily promoted by WWE as a possible opponent for Edge. The first entrance in the 2021 Royal Rumble, Edge outlasted 29 other superstars to win the match for the 2nd time in his career. He has teased over the last week on WWE TV that he could face Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, or Finn Balor at WrestleMania 37. Lana and Naomi react to their huge victories on Monday Night Raw. On this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, both Naomi and Lana scored big victories over WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. The recently formed tag team took to their rivals separately, and Lana even managed to put Jax through a table after the former Raw Women's Champion had done the same to her for weeks on end in late 2020. The duo spoke to Sarah Schreiber backstage on Raw following their huge wins and celebrated one another's achievements. Speaking of the events of the night, Naomi declared her pride in her partner, Lana, by saying, quote, "Beyond proud. Seriously, I was just telling her when we were walking here, she blew me away." End quote. Lana added to her praised friend, saying, "Honestly, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for Naomi because it's like sometimes I really doubt myself. I'm fighting some of the greatest in-ring competitors in the world and the strongest. Nia is so strong and it's terrifying. I knew I was going to go out there and get my butt kicked and possibly snapped in half." End quote. The women also reacted to the moment when Lana put Nia Jax through the table, with Lana saying it felt so amazing and they are going to become WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Damian Priest sends a message to a former WWE Champion following a victory on Raw. Damian Priest has already created quite the impression since coming up from WWE NXT, and he had a message for a former WWE Champion after a recent edition of Raw. This week's episode of Raw saw Damian Priest defeat Angel Garza. Garza had received the backing and support of The Miz and John Morrison, despite attempts made by Miz and Morrison to interfere. Priest was able to win the match. During the bout, when Priest fell outside, Miz and Morrison beat him down while Garza distracted the referee. Thankfully for Damian Priest, he had an ally at ringside too, as Bad Bunny lured The Miz and Morrison away from Priest by taking the Money in the Bank briefcase. The move gave Priest enough time to recover and enter the ring again, while the referee sent Miz and Morrison to the back as they got too involved. Soon after that, he was able to take out Angel Garza and secure the win. In a backstage interview following the match, Damian Priest sent a message to The Miz by saying that he was more than ready for him and that he had something in store for the former WWE Champion as well, saying, quote, "Oh, any win is sweet, but especially in front of those two? Look, I get it, I'm the new guy, so let's push him around. But I'm just not going to be that guy for them. And you know what? The Miz wanted to put his hands on me, or in this case, his foot, so I have got something for him. You better believe that. But in the meantime, I'll just keep on winning." End quote. WWE didn't inform Mustafa Ali about his Raw Talk appearance and reveals how he found out. Retribution leader Mustafa Ali revealed on Raw Talk that he wasn't informed by WWE about his appearance on the show and learned about it after seeing a fan's tweet. Retribution made an appearance on this week's edition of Raw Talk, and Mustafa Ali had a lot to say in regards to WWE's discrimination towards the faction. Ali made a surprising revelation on the show, saying, quote, "One thing I would like to talk about right now, right off the bat, is, you know, when I found out I would be a guest on Raw Talk tonight, a few minutes ago, and it was through a tweet from a fan. Not any of these producers that work here, these writers that work here, people that I've seen all day. No one had the courtesy to let me know that I would be on this show tonight. A fan tweeted me, and that's how I found out. Me, one of the greatest professionals in the world, in this industry, found out minutes ago that I would be on this show. But that's okay, I'm a professional. End quote. Mustafa Ali also talked about the giant red button that WWE's producers can push at any time if they don't like what he says. He asked why they weren't crowding over the button when Damian Priest and Bianca Belair were out there. Ali also opened up on fans asking him why he hasn't won a title belt yet in WWE. He stated that it took the WWE personnel 4 years to pronounce his name correctly. Mustafa Ali seemed very hot-headed coming onto Raw Talk, and understandably so. On this week's episode of Raw, the New Day picked up a big win over Retribution members T-Bar and Slapjack. Following the defeat, the two members of Retribution were given an earful by Mustafa Ali, who wasn't happy with the duo losing to Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. WWE not letting him know about his appearance only added to his frustrations, and it all led to Ali lashing out on Raw Talk. Bobby Lashley set to defend his US title in a triple threat match at Elimination Chamber. Bobby Lashley will defend his WWE United States Championship at Elimination Chamber in a triple threat match. The CEO of the Hurt Business will enter the ring and face off against both Keith Lee and Riddle. WWE made this announcement on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. The company confirmed the news on its social pages after a match between Riddle and Lee. This triple threat match might be Lashley's toughest challenge yet. He's overcome many obstacles as the United States Champion, but he'll have to defeat two of WWE Raw's brightest stars at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Keith Lee and Riddle clashed in a singles match on Raw to determine Lashley's next challenger. In a competitive bout, Lee emerged victorious when he hit Riddle with a spirit bomb, but Lashley attacked both men after the bell, and his assault prompted WWE to book this three-way match for Elimination Chamber. Asuka will also defend her Raw Women's Championship against Lacey Evans at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. WWE confirmed the match following Lacey Evans' win over Charlotte Flair via DQ. Shane McMahon returned on Raw and made a huge announcement with WWE official Adam Pearce and revealed that the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre will defend his title inside the Elimination Chamber. McIntyre will face 5 former WWE Champions, namely Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, The Miz, and his former best friend Sheamus. Thanks for watching today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories, follow us on all social media. If you liked today's video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.